Hey guys, Figurecraft here, and today we're going to be doing the review of shipment 18 of the Titanic. I've just got the Titanic sitting up here, basically just dry fitted together with all of its decks and everything. But anyway, we're going to be doing the review of shipment 18, so let me get the books ready. It's one thing I should have done. Wasn't thinking on that part. Okay, let's see here. We started off at, what was it? 99 for 100, I think it was. Yeah, we started off at 99. So, the first part we started off with in issue 99 that it had us to do was the first thing that it had you to do was to take the new section of the hull, which is the red section of the hull, right down where the propeller comes out, and it wanted you to fit it to the ship to test the fit of it, which is right here, this piece. It wanted you to fit this to the ship. And then after you fitted it to the ship, you then put 2 LM screws inside of it with the Allen key. I used 3-in-1 oil to put mine in. And then you would put those 2 screws in, and then that would be your finished result. Then you would have this bottom piece right here put in. Yeah, that's the right side. Okay. And then you would move on to issue 100, which we finally broke 100. It's hard to believe. We've been working on this thing now for 2 years. But we're getting down to the end of it now. And then you would do your next section of the upper hull starboard side, which is the black section of the hull. Then you would dry fit it to make sure that it would fit. And then you would put 2 more. Let's see here if that's the LM screws. Okay, it ain't showing the screws yet. It's the next page. Yeah, here we go. Then you would put 2 more LM screws into these 2 sections right here to hold it. And then you would also put, after that, you would put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more. So you would put right here, all the way up, going up and down here. And then right here's mine. I painted mine with that orange color, the orange tangerine color from Testers. And then I painted flat white Testers on top of the trim, just like I did on this side over here. And when that goes down, you can see the deck doesn't fully sit down yet, so I'm wondering, how are we going to pull this down? Because, I mean, it's just sitting there floating midair. Partially right here, you can see it just floats up. So I'm wondering, how are we going to get this to attach down? Because you got to get in here, and when you put your engines in here, it's going to be kind of hard to access those screw sockets under there. Way back under there. So, yeah. Let me see if I can get a good picture of it. Yeah, right here. These screw sockets that hang down, it's going to be hard to access those. So I'm just wondering, how are we going to get that down? But anyway, that would be your finished project right there. And then you would move on to issue 101, which would finally start you off on the base that it sits on. So, yeah, it would be the first support. And you would take your first support, you would feed your wire in like your little cable for it. That goes in. You would put all of that in there. You would take one piece of it. You would snap it together with one piece. And then you would have that finished project left. And that is right down here. That's this. The other piece is inside the ship. You can't see it. Let me try to see if I can lift up the ship and let you see in there. It'll be somewhere right... There it is. Right there sticking up in the ship. You got one right there. Then you got the other over there. It just goes inside them holes of the ship. Let me just go ahead and put this back down. Nope. Almost. Hang on a minute here. There we go. Okay, that thing's hard to lift up and down. And then you would be with that finished project right there. And then you would move on to issue 102, which would take you to the other side of the same support. Alright. The second support. That would take you to the other side and give you the other support. And then you would basically take another wire, put it into the opposite end. Then you would screw it together. And then you would be left with this. And then after that, they would then take you to issue 103, which would give you your whole bottom base, which is completely wood. And it's heavy wood too. Right here. You would get this whole entire bottom base right here. You would get this whole entire big old black piece of wood. And then you would take both your supports. You would take the first one that had the cables, feed it through one of the holes in the support, and then you would put it down, feed the wire through the bottom, and then after that you would have this channel you would feed your wire through and then feed it through that hole. And then you would put the other support down, and then you would screw them both in place with these big bolt screws, and then you would have that left. Which, mine's over here. I've just got this sitting on top of it, but it's right there. I've just got that piece sitting on top of it. We'll take a look at that piece in a minute. And then, your last issue, which is 104. Let me get this over here. Let me get this open. Try to, at least. There we go. The circuit board. So let me grab the circuit board. Alright, got it. So you would take the circuit board right here, and then you would insert this circuit board into this part, making sure that the switch comes through and the connector USB-C comes through. Then you would attach it with 2 screws right here. Don't over tighten these screws, as if you do, you will crack the board, and that will not be a good thing. But it will tell you right here, you would insert, make sure those come through. And then over here, you would take 2 JP screws and put them into place. Then you would have this left, which is what we got here. You would have that left. So let me set this back over here. I just got it sitting on here. It just sits into place. That's how it will go. You want to make sure that your switch is towards the back, because your nameplate's going to be going right here. We'll be getting that our next shipment. But yeah, that's all you would do to build shipment 18 once you got it, and that would take you all the way up to issues 104. Now we'll take a walk around and look at the Titanic that we've got here. Here's all of the doors that I've painted. All of the details I've got in mine. There's my loading cranes. There's the pillars, the white pillars that I painted white. All the little railings that I've added, which are black pieces of wire you can see in there. All the little railings that I've added in there. You've got more details up here. I mean, this is a huge model, and this thing has a lot of detail when you get it going together. Right here, you can see we ain't got, haven't figured out a way to fully get the deck going down. Of course, the deck's not going fully down because under here, we got to address these wires first. So there's these wires that's under here keeping the deck from fully pushing down. But it's just sitting there for right now. You can see the glass that I've got in my windows. And there's the bridge, the captain's quarters, and all that. Down here's the front lower well deck, or the forward lower well deck. Let me get this in here so I can show you this. If I can. It's kind of hard to get in here. Come on, focus. There we go. Here's the forward well deck up to the front. Here is the forecastle deck, or the forecastle, whatever you want to call it. I went ahead and painted these anchor chain guides green. Same thing with those pieces of wire I stuck in there and those things back there, painted them green. But yeah, this is all of the Titanic that I've collected so far. And you can see she is fairly a huge model. I've got her sitting up here on top of my shelf that I have in the living room. This is where I'm going to put it. It's going to overhang on both sides of this shelf, but it'll still be up there good enough. And this thing is really heavy. We'll be doing the weigh-in video next. But until then, you all have a blessed one, and I will catch you guys in my next one. And goodbye.